Hey everyone, welcome to Ashosity. I'm Ashley, and today I'm just going to give you guys my top 5 tips to have a successful school semester. I am an alumni of the University of South Alabama. I graduated in 2015 with a degree in computer engineering, so I just felt like I could give you guys some tips to have a good semester. Okay, so the first tip that I will give you all is to get a planner. For me, I am a write it down type of person. I like to write everything down. Assignments, meetings, exams, bills, everything. Anything that I have to do, I like to write it down because I feel like it's easier when I have everything all laid out in one spot. I can go and look what all I might have to do for this week or this month or whatever, and I can plan accordingly. I know that some professors will give a syllabus at the beginning of the semester and that has a listing of all the assignments, exams, and the dates that they are on or due on, but I personally feel like it's easier to have it all once again written down in a single planner rather than having to go back to each individual syllabus to look at dates and due dates and things like that. I feel like when you have it in your planner, you can just, everything is in one spot. You can see when this and this is due. If some things may be due on the same day or the same week, you might have more than one exam in the same week or whatever. So it's all in one spot, and you can plan your week out or your month, when you may have to do this or that, or when you want to start working on this or studying for a certain test or stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like having a planner is definitely important, and it's definitely key in keeping yourself organized when it comes to semester, because organization is another thing that will help your semester to run smoothly. So yeah, definitely get a planner. Okay, so my next tip will be to use your resources. And what I mean by this is find out what your campus has to offer you and you take advantage of it. For example, we had SIs, or supplementary instructors, what they are, and what it is a tutor for a specific class. That way when it outside of class, you have someone to go talk to get one-on-one help. If you may have any questions or anything like that, you can definitely make sure you get that taken care of before an exam and stuff. Also, another thing that I did have is being an engineering student, we had our own computer lab where we could come do homework, write papers, and we were able to print papers and things like that free of cost. Whereas I know if we went to the library, we had to pay to print. You had to get a track card and it was like 10 cents per sheet or something like that. But it was definitely helpful to not have to worry about doing all that. You could just go into our own computer lab, do our homework, print our papers, and be good to go. So yeah, that was definitely a plus. And then another thing I would say is use your professor's office hours. You may have questions or need advice about the class or about doing certain things. So I would definitely recommend going to your professor's office hours. Make yourself known to your professor, because professors do definitely take note of who makes the extra effort and who's actually showing up all the time. They will remember you, and you never know, you may need a letter of recommendation, or you may need to use someone as a reference later on down the road when you're applying for a job or something like that. And like I said, those professors, they remember those things, and you may be able to go back and say, hey, I need a reference, or I need a letter, can I use you, can you help me out? And they will definitely remember you from making yourself known and being present all the time. They'll say, of course, definitely, I got you, I can help you out, or whatever. So definitely take advantage of that. Okay, and my third tip, going in hand in hand with the last one, is to ask questions. Whether it's in class or out of class, make sure you ask questions. Whatever question you have, whether you think it's a dumb question or not, make sure you ask it, because it's better to ask the dumb question in class or in your professor's office hours or in a tutoring session than to get to the test and be feeling dumb because you didn't ask and you don't know the answer. I think it's important to make sure that you know your material, and that come time for the test, you're confident in the material that you're testing on. So yeah, ask whatever question you may need to. Make sure you know your stuff and that you get your answers. Like I said, no matter if you think it's dumb or whatever you may think it is, make sure you ask those questions so that you come time for your test, you're confident, you're good to go, you're ready, I can ace this, boom, let's go. So yeah, definitely make sure you ask questions, whatever your question may be, whether it's in regards to the schoolwork, coursework, or anything else outside of class. Whatever question you have, ask a question. I feel like it's always important to make sure you know. It's better to know than to not know. Right? Yeah. Is that a saying? No. Anyway, so yeah, definitely ask questions. That's my third tip. Okay, so my fourth tip is to study early. And this is so important. I cannot stress it enough. Study early. Do not wait until the day before the test or even the week of the test to begin studying, because that's too much to be trying to cram in a whole month or however long the time is, month, or several chapters in at one time to try to learn all this stuff right before the test. You won't be able to retain that much information. You should honestly, I feel like you should study each section or each chapter as you go through it, because it'll be fresh on your brain. If you don't know something, you go right right back to your instructor right then and say, hey, I need help with this, I don't understand this, or whatever. And that way you'll be able to tackle it right then, and that way you'll have it in your mind. And when you get ready to study, you can just refresh your mind rather than trying to learn it all at one time. So definitely study early, and this is something that I personally had to learn because coming out of high school, I wasn't really a studier. I didn't have to study. Everything was a breeze for me, I guess you could say. I didn't really study. When I learned it, I was good to go. So yeah, definitely develop some good study habits, because it will definitely help you in the long run. Okay, so my fifth and final tip is to have a balance. And this is another thing that I think is very, very important. You can't party all the time, but you also can't do schoolwork and study all the time. You have to have a balance, because once again, you know, if you party all the time, you ain't gonna never get nothing done. You ain't gonna do your homework, you ain't gonna be ready for your test. It's just a fail. I feel like if you're always studying, if you're always doing schoolwork and you never take a break, you'll overstress yourself, and you end up like running yourself down. You'll be tired, and comes time to the end of the semester, you won't have very much in you to push. When it comes down to that final exam, you might be all worked out, studied out. You won't have that much more in you to be able to push through that final exam. And a lot of times, final exams are cumulative, so it's of everything you've done that whole semester. And if you don't do nothing but schoolwork all semester long, you're gonna be tired come time for that final exam. Most of the time they're 2 hours long. Well, as far as I know, anyway, all of mine were. But yeah, so that's a lot. And if you schoolwork, you're gonna be schoolworked out. You're gonna be tired of studying, tired of looking at that schoolwork. Like you'll be tired of it. You're gonna be tired of it come down to the end of the semester. So I feel like it's important to get out and do other things. You know, make sure you get your schoolwork done, make sure you study, make sure you understand your coursework, but then get out there and go to the campus events, go to sports events, go to the different activities that they may be hosting on campus. Like we would have several activities going on throughout the year. We would have a block party at the beginning of semester, welcoming all the students back, and it will just be different things going on. Just a lot of different things going on, and I feel like it's so important to engage in those activities and to get out there and do stuff. Make friends, make memories. You're only in undergrad once, so you should definitely make sure you enjoy the time that you are there. So yeah, guys, those are my top 5 tips to have a great semester. Hopefully these tips may help you out. Drop a comment down below if you found this video helpful, or if you have any other tips that you may like to offer to anyone else who may be reading. And then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.